KDF Taeyoon, he's an 80 carry. I actually scrimmed against him a few months ago, and I think the months prior to that for our spring and summer split boot camps. I remember he was pretty fucking good. He was very good. I think he is, you know, his raw skill on the level of Berserker, probably better. He was just really, really good. Laning phase, everything. All around great player. Let's hear his thoughts though. Okay, so the story of KDF's bot lane being pushed to bot inhibitor turret. Our bot turret went down 6 minutes in, and by 10 minutes, T1's bot lane had already pushed to our inhibitor turret. So I said, let's rely on our top side to carry us instead. In the end, however, bot kept getting destroyed. Our turret went down, then we got solo killed, then the inner turret would get pushed in. I recalled how when we would base, they were already at our inner turret. It felt oppressive to me. The inner turret would be getting pushed in, and then when we based in return, they were already at our inhibitor tower. Dude, this guy's saying the word tower way too much in the translations. It's fucking... It's like... I feel like I'm just stuck in the Matrix repeating it. In my heart, I was wondering when we would surrender. It was too hard to fight, so I told CV Max that getting destroyed in lane like this would make anyone lose motivation to keep playing. I felt that T1 were playing too well. I really didn't want to continue playing. How could they play so well? Even if we used different champions, we would still lose. After the quarterfinals. After the quarters, CV Max told us days which we would be scrimming T1. Oh. Core raid? Thanks, Core. What's up, Steve? Boss man. After the quarter, CVMAX told us which days we'd be scrimming with T1. It was basically every day. From this point onward, we could actually play against them, even though we did not manage to win. It felt like the games were more even, just that we couldn't close out the game. To be honest, I can't remember what happened that week. I only remember this week clearly. Finals week. I just remember the feeling the laning phase was winnable. Okay, but when it came to objective fights, let's say we had too little experience. So basically, they were getting hard stomped in lane bot lane. Then by the time finals rolled around, he doesn't remember much of quarters and semis. And then by finals, he felt like they were not getting completely fisted in lane. All right. This feeling of the game is winnable, yet we still lost persisted through our games. We would either go 1-5 or 0-6, and occasionally we would win an additional game, I think. I got destroyed too hard in the first week, so I felt really sorry and angry, and I wondered, are we even helping them learn anything from these games? I've been there. Getting completely destroyed in scrims ruins your confidence and makes you feel so worthless because you're not even helping your opponents. Not that you care about your opponents. Like, you don't truly wish them well and want them to fucking live to be 200 years old with 17 world titles each, but it's like, it's a bit embarrassing when you're not putting up a fight in scrims. It just feels like, why the fuck are these guys scrimming us? We're just like actually just turds on the ground. Okay, so he's saying, then during semifinals, I was thinking if T1 entered the finals, we would need to scrim with T1 again. I was torn between happy that we could help them and hating it because the games were super difficult. So he's like getting traumatized from the scrims. He's like, damn, this sucks. I don't really want to scrim these guys. Can we scrim someone easier? Although there were other LCK teams scrimming with them, T1 scheduled many scrims with us. So I thought, looks like I'm actually of some use, and thus I worked harder in scrims. Ooh, very, very motivational. I initially thought that I was good at Kai'Sa Alistar versus Aphelios Rel matchup. If the laning phase went smoothly and we were asked to remake, I would just think, we'll just win the next game. In this manner, both T1 and us requested remakes many games because the games have to be helpful for T1. With this, a scrim session wouldn't just be 6 games, but up to 10 games. This was very helpful to both T1 and our bot lanes. Okay, so they're trading back and forth, and when it gets snowballed, in this specific matchup, they're really good, and so they're trading back and forth, probably 2v2 kills, and they don't want to play the entire scrim out. They're actually just trying to get matchup. It's very normal for people to do blitz scrims for specific situations. Let's say your team is like struggling to get through early game on certain matchups. You should actually schedule scrims where, you know, you play the first like 5 to 10 minutes and everyone plays kind of just like almost solo queue style where you just play with absolutely zero respect and try to get you just play to your limit as much as you possibly can, and you have something in mind that you're trying to see, like level 6 all in, or okay, base for Noon Quiver, then see what happens if it's 2v2. So okay, win rate. How was your win rate? First week was hell. Third week it was roughly 50-50. After laning phase, if the game was even, we would still continue laning. Keria's Ashe ults always flew towards mid lane. Bulldog kept getting hit. So while laning, I would often hear Bulldog's shocked exclamations, and the both of us at bot lane would say, so Ashe got her ult, sorry. I think if your mid laner gets hit by Ashe ult, it's kind of 70-30, mid lane's fault, 70% mid lane's fault, 30% Ashe fault. Ashe has been a champ 13 years. You load into the game the same way that you would load into a game against TF or Shen or Gangplank. You are like, oh, they have a global. Or Karthus. Again, a season 1 champ. If you die to Karthus ulti, you don't die, fucking jungle gap, I died to Karthus ulti. You blame yourself for not realizing in load screen, oh, Karthus hit 6 at 7 minutes. And same with Ashe support. It's like, oh, Ashe support usually hits 6 around 8. Okay? If bot lane has perfect XP around 8 minutes, usually a little bit more than 8 minutes, is the fastest that you can get support. If they get 2v2 kills, fucks up the timing. If they lose XP, fucks up the timing, but 8 minutes. Think about Ashe ulti. And just bot lane globals in general. That's when that happens. The champions that form the Circus, Neela and other heroes. This is the most difficult to fight. Literally impossible to win against. For example, Neela plus Senna, Zillion, etc. Impossible to win against. Really. 2, Keria's Bard. Okay, so apparently T1 is just too fucking good. They can just play whatever. And they're shitting on people with Neela. They're shitting on people with Bard. Neela, Senna, Neela, Zillion. Like, holy shit. Huh. That's insane, actually, thinking about Neela Zillion. Think about how much XP that is. Neela's giving XP to... She's giving XP to her support and getting ahead in XP herself, while Zillion is banking up the XP in his passive and giving it to Neela, so she's getting further and further ahead in XP. Just sounds insane. And yeah, you can go in with a bomb and get double bombed off of for this stun. Targets for review. In the first week, CV Max targeted me the most. 80% of his feedback was for me, and occasionally I would blame someone else, so 20% of the feedback went to the support. In the second week, bot and mid jungle received 50% of the feedback each. In the third week, mostly mid jungle. Dudu was a god, only occasionally receiving 1% of the feedback. So apparently Dudu is just like fucking holding it down versus Zeus. That's crazy. Unfortunate about his name, but the Dudu god. After playing against Gumayusi and Keria, playing solo queue would make me feel like the opposing laners were really weak. However, my support in solo queue is not my support. So it felt like I was 1v3. It made me think, oh, I want to scrim, yet I don't want to scrim. Holy shit, that is so funny. I think this is such an articulate interview. I feel like he puts he just puts into words stuff that a lot of pro players go through, but just don't have like the fucking ability to explain as well as he did. I mean, I resonate with a lot of the stuff he's been saying. I think a lot of pro players can resonate with it and have been in similar situations. And yeah, it's just that was a fun one. That was a fun interview. You'll be a better player through all of that for sure. You go through new experiences, you get new perspective, you rethink the way you play and the way you like understand, like reinvent yourself a bit, and you'll always